league all the time. We'll move along now to the game plan. All right, you ready for this, boys? To defeat the Cleveland Browns in Week 3, the Green Bay Packers should focus on the following key areas. Number one, let's start with offense. Number one, protect Jordan Love. The Browns boast a strong pass rush with Myles Garrett. Packers need to ensure Jordan Love has a clean pocket and time to throw. This may involve implementing quick passes and timing routes to get the ball out quickly, specifically utilizing the RPO aspect of LaFleur's offense. Force the Browns linebackers into conflict with bubble and smoke screen RPOs. I want to paint a picture. Imagine a trips left look out of 11 personnel, right? And you've got the DBs lined up over there. You got the backers still in the box. What the backers are going to look at when you run that RPO, you put the ball in the belly. If you catch that linebacker cheating toward a zone and not biting on the run, then you're probably going to want to look to, if he's cheating to his zone, just hand the ball off. That's how you can work them out of that box a little bit right now. If you fire that RPO out there a couple times, couple bubble screens to Matthew Golden, get him on the run out there, get a lead blocker. Imagine a trips left set with Malik Heath out there lead blocking and a quick bubble, right? Quick bubble screen to Matthew Golden. You hit that 2 or 3 times in the game and watch that linebacker start to sidestep out there a little bit. That's going to open up the box touch for Josh Jacobs, if that makes sense.
That's a great point about the RPO, because you can use it as like intelligence gathering too. You call a couple of those looks, you're gonna see how that defense is, leaning coverage and biting.
Yeah.
So another thing, utilizing chip blocks from running backs and tight ends on Myles Garrett. We kind of already hit on that a little bit. Get a little more Chris Brooks involved, chipping coming out of the backfield. Also, someone else had mentioned in the chat, don't be afraid to put Malik Heath in that wing that you used to put Christian Watson in. Let him, get a little smack on Myles Garrett on his way out of the backfield as well, right? And then, of course, potentially adjusting the offensive line assignments if Zach Tom remains sidelined. Here's the other thing, too. We're a little worried. All right, where's Myles Garrett going to line up? I want to say less than 10% of his pass rushes this year, less than 10%, have been over the right tackle. So the large majority of the time, he is going to be lining up over the left tackle unless they specifically change something to take advantage of whoever's playing at right tackle. The point being, if we see Myles Garrett over there, if you see 95 over there over top of whether it's Belton or Kennard, whoever, that's the side your chip needs to go to, period, case closed. So anything you guys want to add to that there in terms of protecting Jordan Love?
Hey, Jacob, can you put I starred one of Ron Sandville's comments there. Can you put that up on the screen? I think it'd be a good not that one. There was the other one. Maybe it wasn't Ron talking about Belton.
There we go. Dead fish.
What if Belton starts in place of Tom and absolutely handles Garrett? I love that. Because that's where my head went. It's like, what if we put him out there and Escalade holds his own, and obviously we're still going to have to throw in some chips, but I think it'd be a great test for Big Escalade going up against one of the best in the business. I don't know. What are your thoughts, guys?
I actually agree with that. I saw that highlighted and wanted to keep that until it was the appropriate timing. And like you said, man, we've seen glimpses, but it's been not just a few. We've seen like multiple instances where you see how physical Belton is, and just literally almost with ease, he can decleat people with small little hip shakes and just little stabs of his arm. It's like the man's power is very underrated, and we saw it maybe in the draft process and some tape he's put on film here, and he just needs to clean up, being a little more comfortable, being a little more penalty free, obviously, and maybe the pre-snap stuff. But you see a guy that is an absolute road grader out there, and he is. I would love to see it, Tim. I'd love to see it.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so run defense rankings. This is what they do well, guys. This is early in the 2025 season. You're 2 games in. They lead the league in yards per rush allowed at 2.1. Look who's in second place, 2.4. Your Green Bay Packers. Love to see it, right? So again, you're going to be kind of banging your head against the wall running the football. You're probably going to want to establish the pass a little bit early, try to soften that up, whether it's through the RPO game or, Matt LaFleur. He's been taking shots down the field early as well, Emilio. He coming out on first down, letting Jordan Love can out of it and take a shot down the field.
Yeah, let him spin it. But if speaking of the run game, if we do get it going against Cleveland, that might be the excitement or sort of the push that run game needs. It didn't happen versus the Lions versus the Commanders, but if we can get it going against the best run defense team in the league, now you got something to build off of. Now you can really go somewhere with that. So I definitely think that's a 100% a possibility. Timothy mentioned it here, but it was Steno was talking about it. But he said one thing I just thought of in practice: Packers can use Micah Parsons to simulate Myles Garrett.
Yes.
Literally Steno was talking about that earlier in his interview. It was like, yeah, he literally started cutting the question off. They were like, so you have you have Micah Parsons. How does that work with Myles Garrett? Yes. Yep. No, we exactly can use him. It's the energy. It's the drive, the will to win, all of those things. Just kind of having that lead, edge dog. You can kind of simulate that, which is nice that we're able to sort of lean into that just going into practice.
Definitely. And Tim, you kind of talked about establishing a run, right? Strategically here.
Yep.
While the Browns have an excellent run defense, establishing a run, particularly with Josh Jacobs, can be crucial to set the tempo and open up play action opportunities. The Packers should be patient with the run game and look for opportunities to run outside or use misdirection. Utilize play action passes off the run game to exploit the Browns' strong run defense. Typically, Tim, when you got a strong run defense, they're aggressive, biting on that play action, right?
Yep.
So don't be afraid to stretch that thing out wide and boot off of it. I want to say this very clearly. Boot away from Myles Garrett, please. What do you think, Tim?
Absolutely. No, I agree. I think that's important because they got to believe we're going to run the ball. That's been my point all along. Like you can only use that aggressiveness against them if they really believe you're going to run the ball, and this is the way to do it. I totally agree. I think you got to be strategic when establishing the run game, and use it to set up your shot plays and your passing attack.
Yeah.
Clayton,
go ahead, Jake.
if you were the coach, if you're the offensive coordinator, whatever the case, and you had your first 15, 20 plays scripted, what would your kind of differential be between run and pass plays?
It would be, you would not be able to guess it. I would come out RPO heavy for opening drive. I would have 5 or 6 RPOs called right in a row, and that way, whatever the defense decides to take away, you're going to play to the other effect. And the beautiful thing is we haven't seen many RPOs in this early season here, right? So if they're watching the last 2 game saturation, they being obviously the Cleveland Browns, their mind is going to be steered away from the RPO a bit, right? Because you're going to look at typically what coaching staffs do is they look at your last 2 head-to-head matchups against that coaching staff, and then they get a 4-game saturation of the previous 4 games of said team. So they'll probably go back to the final 2. They'll probably look at what Philly did to Green Bay in the playoffs, right? And then they'll look at these 2 games early. So if they're leaning more into recency bias, the RPO is not going to be on the forefront of their mind, right? Mm-hmm. So I would come out RPO heavy on the opening drive. I would. And you know what? If those backers bite on the run, then like I said, swing that bubble out there, swing that smoke out there, and pick up, anywhere from 3 to 7 yards a clip until they start to ease up a little bit. You can also throw a lookie in there, right? Especially if those linebackers are biting. Hammer that slant over the middle of an RPO look.
Hey, what about the RPO pop? I mean, come on, that one is unbelievable. If the linebackers are sleeping on it, 10 plus, easy.
Yep. What about have we talked about maybe running some counter?
Ooh.
Yeah, see, that's the other thing. I think it's in the game. It might be in the game plan here in a minute. I know I put it in. I may have taken it out. Running counter away from Myles Garrett, and also a little trap look to Garrett's side. Let him get too aggressive inside and have a sift or something kind of come through, or an 0-1 trap and take care of him. The game plan, whether it's the run or the pass, has got to be geared around. He is the Tuesday player on this team. There's no 2 ways about it, right? He's that guy that everything's got to be geared around. Don't let him wreck your game plan, period. So the quick slant to Golden, right? That sounds good too, Ron, but if they play a lot of cover 1 man, you would think if they're in cover 1 man, as long as there's no drop, right? As long as there's no linebacker drop or any kind of a cover 1 robber, you should be able to hammer those slants, because what's going to happen is they're going to play outside leverage because they've got middle field help, right? So you would think, theoretically speaking, the slant should be there, but you got to be careful because they will sneak. They'll trick you right into throwing an interception there if they do play a little drop, or Lord forbid they show a little cover 1 man and then run a cover 3 fire zone. Because remember what we opened up with? We opened up with talking about, hey, they're playing more cover 1 man than they did last year. This might be the game that they tweak it back to cover 3 zone. So if they're showing cover 1 man and they're sugaring you like that, and then all of a sudden They come out in a cover 3 buzz post snap. Jordan thinks it's cover 1 man, and you see in buzz that safety buzzes to the hook curl. That slant can get picked off really, really quick. Same thing with the linebackers dropping in the hook curl because their linebackers, if I remember correctly, I won't put it on the screen, but I'll just tell you guys in their base defense, right? Bush is 91.3 PFF grade, second best in the league. Swisinger, like you were saying, Emilio, 82.2. And then Baker, their sandbacker in their base 4-3 here, is a 75.9. Linebacker is probably the strength of their team. That's why I would rather than focus on the slants and everything, I would focus on the bubbles and the smokes because that's outside away from the backers, but you're still manipulating them with that quick passing game.
Right. And if you're thinking linebackers maybe they're, the best part of their defense, how often are you going to want them to be in base? Maybe we do get away. Maybe we stay in 13. I don't know. Maybe we stay in, 11 personnel, or maybe we go 10 personnel, pull all the tight ends off, put all our wideouts out there. We can do it. Obviously you lost Reed, but it's not like we don't have, some depth there. And again, it just kind of looks like I'm happy that Goody built the roster that way because we have depth at every position. We've lost a wide receiver, a tight end, a lineman, and we've still been able to just kind of refill and keep going.
Yeah. Tim, we got breaking news here. Did you see this in the chat? Holy cow, man. We got breaking news. Respect Orange says Daryl started an adult boy band called Drunk Uncles. Now back to your regularly scheduled program here. With the passing defense, yards per pass attempt, I want to be very clear. Their run defense is great. Their pass defense is solid too. Even though they're ranked 9th, and you think, okay, that's not in the top 3 like their run defense, 5.6 yards per pass attempt is actually tied for 7th best. Now, Green Bay, number 1 in the league at 4.7. Love seeing that. So their defense is good. On paper, our defense is better right now. This kind of feels like one of those games. Don't turn the ball over.
Yep.
Let them make the mistakes. Don't feel like you got to go out there and win by 14 points.
Mm-hmm.
Play the game plan, protect the football, control the time of possession, win the turnover.
Damn field goal on 4th down.
Please, for the love of God, if I see a jet sweep on 4th and 1 from their 30-yard line, I'm going to.
I'd probably call it. I'd probably run that.
You would.
I'm honest. Hey, if you can go and get 7, go and get 7 for me, Matt.
Here's Emilio right here.
I'm telling you, Tim.
I'll tell you what I wouldn't mind on 4th and 1 if you decide to go for it. Give me that 83 Wildcat again. Because I'm telling you, man, Savion Williams.
Jordan on that one.
Oh, Lord, have mercy, Tim.
They were they were asking Steno about that, and he said, well, Savion learned what it's like to be, to run on Lambeau now with that. He said, I thought he might have been able to break it if he had kept his footing, but they were asking him now, can he throw? And he goes, well, Savion claims that he can. But
we got it on tape that he can. Come on.
He goes, but I guess, I don't know. We'll see. And I think that might be in there for maybe week 12 or something. Just a little sprinkle of it.
I like the way that he kept both hands on the ball the whole time when he faked that toss. A lot of times you see those plays will just fall apart because you just cough the ball up.
The ball's golden, right, Tim? We need that thing. That's your moneymaker right there.
That's right.
All right, attack the Browns secondary. Despite strong defensive line play, the Browns secondary has shown vulnerabilities, allowing Lamar Jackson to throw for 5 touchdowns in week 2. I didn't realize that. You guys fact-check that, double-check that. That's what AI pulled. The Packers should look to exploit this by testing the Browns cornerbacks, especially Greg Newsome and Cameron Mitchell, utilizing tight end Tucker Kraft, if he's out there, who is coming off a strong performance to create mismatches, employing a variety of schemes and formations to keep the Browns defense off balance. Don't settle into just one personnel. Keep those rotations coming on and off the field, and who knows, you might be able to get a free player or two. But we know Jordan Love carrying on that Aaron Rodgers tradition of that, right? Utilize motion and spacing. That's another huge thing. When we were talking 83 Wildcat kind of tongue-in-cheek just now, that's something that you could keep them a little bit off balance with too if you decide to go to that 83 Wildcat. So the Packers are described as an excellent motion team. Using motion and spreading out the Browns defense can help create throwing lanes and isolate defenders. So that's what we got on offense. We'll jump into the defensive side real quick now. Anything else you guys want to add on offense there? Anything at all? Good? All right. So defense, number 1, guys, Pressure Joe Flacco. The Browns offense has struggled, and Joe Flacco has been vulnerable under pressure, throwing 3 interceptions in the first 2 weeks. The Packers tied for second in the league with 8 sacks. Should look to capitalize on this by continuing to bring pressure with Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary, utilizing stunts and blitzes to confuse the Browns offensive line and get to the quarterback, especially if Joe Bitonio is not in the lineup, right? Forcing Flacco to move off his spot and throw from uncomfortable positions. Right?
Get over here! Built to ass. BTA. Know what I'm saying?
So the key there is, listen, don't touch spy. We're not concerned about the touch spy. You want to be a little bit, I don't want to say conservative, but be very aware of Quinshon Judkins, because if he does come out and he's averaging 6 yards a pop again, he can gash you in the run game. So be aware of that. Keep your run gap integrity, right? However, I don't want to see any touch spies on passing situations. There's no worries whatsoever for Joe Flacco to scramble with the football. Get after his ass in the pocket, and like it says, move him off the spot. As you can see here, the Packers are tied for second most sacks per game at 4 sacks per game, tied with the LA Rams and the New Orleans Saints. New England leads the way at 4.5 sacks per game so far. Cleveland is sitting tied in the 8th spot with 3 sacks per game. What do y'all think about that with Joe Flacco? Do y'all disagree, agree, kind of try to get him off his spot, but don't worry about him scrambling, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure.
We
And you got to bring pressure, with 4, right, as much as you can. And then, utilizing the stunts. We know how this D-line's capable of playing, man. It's going to be fun to watch the boys out there in the trenches, honestly.
Yeah, that's the other thing, though, Tim. Right? It's like Joe Flacco is a veteran, absolutely. So it's not like Hafley can kind of really draw up anything that's going to be a sim that he maybe has never seen before, right? We might get 1 or 2 of those that might catch him off guard, but he's seen it. He knows where his hot route is. He knows he's got to get it out quick. The question is, can we be there? Are we going to be sticky in coverage? And can that pass rush get there? Yeah, we just need to give him 2-3 seconds. But let's not try to go crazy on scheming something up just to bring 4.
Yep.
All right, containing the Browns' run game. While the Browns' run game has struggled, the emergence of rookie Quinshon Judkins could spark the offense. The Packers should focus on stopping the run on early downs to put the Browns' offense in difficult third down situations, swarm to the ball carrier, and limit yardage after contact. Essentially what we're saying there, guys, don't be afraid to be aggressive at stopping the run. I would much rather look up in the second quarter and go, damn, who's seen it coming? Joe Flacco burned us deep a couple times, rather than letting them just control the clock and run the ball down our throat. You know what I mean? Yeah. Make Joe Flacco prove he can beat you in the air. If you're gonna guess one way or another, let's guess run over pass. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yep, hell yeah. And let Williams and McKinney earn their check, right? We got legit safeties back there. Let's do it. I totally agree with that, Clay. You don't want to. You don't want to be too I don't know what's the word I'm looking for. You don't want to shy away from being aggressive when it comes to the run, because that's conventional wisdom is like, oh, you're selling out against the run, you're getting lit up deep all day long. Well, tip your cap to Goody, man. He fixed that secondary pretty quickly, and I trust our guys. I really do.
Right. Evan was saying, Hafley lets us play just fast. He goes, hey, I've never really even had a coach that says, I don't care if you make a mistake. It's because you're playing fast. He goes, I don't just want you to play, 100%. Obviously, he'll get on him for a mistake if it keeps happening, things like that. But just play fast, play physical, play as hard as you can, and then we'll figure out everything else after that. And you've seen what that does in 2 games already.
Yeah. Yep. Looks like the Dolphins capitalized on their opening drive with a short field, 10 plays, 47 yards. They're going to be leading the Buffalo Bills 7-0 here in the first quarter on the opening drive. For those of you wondering about Thursday Night Football, focus on coverage. All right. Matt LaFleur has emphasized the need for the Packers defense to be dialed in on pass coverage against Joe Flacco's pure throwing ability. This involves disrupting routes at the line of scrimmage, sticking to receivers and preventing completions on deeper throws, communicating effectively in the secondary to avoid breakdowns in coverage. When you look at their receiver room so far, leading the way, Jerry Jeudy has 9 catches for 117 yards. Harold Fannin Jr., tight end, has 12 catches for 111 yards. And David Njoku has 7 catches for 77 yards. So what it tells me is they're tight ends. You want to focus in on, don't let them cook you with the tight end game there. I'm not overly concerned about Jerry Jeudy, although he is their leading receiver as it sits right now. So looks like he's averaging 13 yards per reception. catch rate over expected, it looks like Harold Fannin Jr. is looking like their best target right now, to plus 9.4% catch rate over expected. So
that's like Emilio brought up last night with Fannin. He's more of a receiving threat than a blocking type of tight end.
Right.
Yeah.
You got to keep track of them. That's it.
Yep.
But I'm not worried about really any of the matchups, if that's what we're getting to. Like, I'm not worried about Evan covering. I'm not worried about Bull covering them. It's like we have enough speed and then we have enough physicality. If it ends up being a safety or a nickel, perfect. If it ends up being one of the linebackers, perfect. We're good both ways.
Yeah. So by executing this game plan, the Packers can leverage their strengths and exploit the Browns' weaknesses to secure a victory in Cleveland. So I want you guys to let us know, all right, at the end of this video, let us know in the comments what y'all think. What do you agree with? What do you disagree with? Is there something else that we're maybe missing, right, in terms of game planning for the Browns? Because you can't overlook any team in the league, man.
Right.
Ain't no two ways about it.
Matt said that in the Total Packers episode. Clayton, I really want to say they wanted to call it Packers Total Access, but it's okay. We got to that first, so they call it Total Packers. But Matt was saying, he goes, yeah, with that, you just got to be ready with the coverage. You got to be ready with the defense. And Hafley was even talking about in his presser, like, I was watching film Wednesday night. He said it was late, and he called X, and he said, X, I need you to be able to get me into this look or this check. Can you do that, Coach? No problem. I got you. We talked about that earlier. He's the first one in there to watch film with him on Monday morning. And we're super lucky that we have what we do in the secondary on defense in general.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like you watch X back there. It's like Hafley with pads on,
right.
on the field. It's awesome.
Yeah, sure. All right. And I see people saying there might be a chance of rain. It may rain on Sunday, says Chuck. Just looking at the latest forecast here, Chuck, they're saying partly cloudy skies in the morning will give way to cloudy skies during the afternoon. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible, but there is only a 24% chance of rain. Looks like the wind's going to be south at about 10 to 15 miles per hour there. That stadium's obviously right there on the is it the river or the lake? I'm trying to remember. There's a body of water there that does get a little windy there. I think it's the Cuyahoga River, I believe is what it is there.
There you go.
I bet that thing is nice and clean. You know what I mean? Running right through the city of Cleveland. I mean, it's like Knoxville, Emilio. We love the Vol Navy, and we love the fact, hey, when Pat McAfee jumped off that boat a few years ago, I went, Bub, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. Yeah. That's some dirty water there.
No. If you want to get in the rivers over here, you got to go to Little River. You got to go up into the mountains and ride one down on a tube or something. You
got to get higher than the trash.
Yeah.
Got to get higher than the trash.
That's the truth. Climb the mountain a little bit, then get in the water. It's nice. But, yeah, you don't want to be down there too long.
Yeah. Jacob's been higher than the trash a couple times. What happened to him anyway? I look up and he's gone.
He had to, he's got the office calling them there. They got short. Someone got injured and he had to go fill in for him. So
what are you talking about? That's my job.
All right. I did notice too, and you guys, maybe I'm wrong in the chat here. Is it just me or we haven't seen Daryl in a couple of days? Was he in here yesterday? I'm a little worried about our boy Daryl.
Well, he's got rehearsal with his new band.
His new band. I made that joke earlier and I highlighted the comment. I'm like, where is Daryl? I ain't seen him in here. Hopefully he's all right. So Daryl, if you hear this, man, hopefully you're doing well, buddy, up there in the great wilderness of Alaska. So, yeah. All right. Anything else, boys? Anything at all?
Nodak Mike in the chat. Stadium is on Lake Erie.
Appreciate it, Mike. I know there's some rivers that runs through the town there as well, but yeah, that's it gets cold up there too. They say it get bitter cold.
That's true.
Anything else, boys?
Oh yeah, one more time.
Belt to ass.
Yeah.
BTA. You know what I'm saying?
I like it.
Needed that.
You were saying 24% chance of rain. I feel like that's Cleveland's chances of winning this game too, honestly.
Could be, man. Could be. We'll see though. Again, just got to protect the football,
Yep.
Jump out to an early lead. That's the other thing.
Don't beat yourself, right? Don't beat yourself.
Yeah. If you jump out to an early lead and now you pull them away from their running game, you're going to see this pass rush eat. However, you look up in the third quarter and it's a one-score game and they're still able to kind of keep the running game in it, keep it in it. That's when bad things can happen. You let any team hang around in the National Football League, you put yourself at risk of losing one you should win. And I think everybody would agree they should win this game, but you're never going to hear us come in here and be like, oh, yeah, we're winning it. We watch enough football to know any given Sunday anything can happen. So
absolutely.
All right. That's it, guys. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. It's just a lot of fun, man. You guys were awesome in the chat. Thank y'all so much for contributing and giving your feedback. If you're watching this video back later, let us know in the comments what you think. What would you change about the game plan? What were some things that we missed? Also, if you want to support what we do here at Packers Total Access, go to patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. $3 get you access to everything on the site. Also get you entered into some fun contests, giveaways, things like that. We're going to be giving away an autographed Matthew Golden card. It does not look like that, I promise you. But
Get that off the screen, Emilio. I just ate dinner.
An autographed Matthew Golden rookie card. So if you're a member of the Patreon group, $3 tier, you'll be entered into that giveaway. We'll just spin the wheel in the post game show and give that away. And we got some other cool giveaways coming up here soon too. Just a way for us to give back to those who are supporting the channel out of my own personal memorabilia collection, much of which has been donated by listeners, which is really, really cool. People that just wanted to contribute to the show. So it's cool. We got literally fans that watch the show that are just kind of giving back to each other, you know,
right.
and having fun with it all year long. It's just a really cool community. So
Absolutely.
that being said, Emilio, Tim, appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Tim.
Hopefully Jacob don't pull a butt cheek on the pole tonight, but we'll see y'all tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Central for PTA Live. Everybody have a wonderful evening. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world, and go Pack Go.
Here we go. We're out.
Bye, guys.